Hello, my name is Abhisht. There's a saying, don't let pain define you, let it refine you. In our society, there is a myth that cancer is equal to death or cancer survivor cannot lead a normal life. Some of the time, these issues give us the hit where we never envisioned of. Now, in order to help patients fight and survive this disease, more attention and awareness are needed. Today, I'm the host for Cancer Healing Journey. This is a unique show. We bring together some heroes and some warriors for you. Warriors who fought their battles and now who have become an inspiration to our people to fight their battles. They are actually our inspiration. I'm proud and really happy to bring you such hero and such warrior. We have heard many stories about people being a cancer survivor, from Manisha Koirola to Sonali Bendre and even Yuvraj Singh. And also, these people have become affected by cancer. While many of them lose the battle against the cancer, there are a few who tell the tale, and one among them is a voluntary cancer coach herself. She has dedicated her life to cancer patients. She is inspired by Yuvraj Singh, who has emerged as a fearless, compassionate, and grateful person. She has counseled more than 4,000 patients and caregivers. Please welcome Urvi Sandis. Welcome to my show, Urvi Sandis.
Hello, yeah, thank you.
Can you please tell me about your journey? What was the first time when you heard that you had cancer, and what was the first no, what was the thing that inspired that you had first cancer, and what was the first impression?
So, like, this happened in 2015. Before that, like, my life was an ideal life, you can say. Every woman would like to have it, a perfect family, a very nice, successful job, which I looked back and smiled at. And all of a sudden, I got this news. I had just gone for a routine checkup where I came to know that I was having stage 2 of breast cancer. You
So,
would be surprised to know that it just took 1 minute for me to think that I want to just fight it out. I have to fight it out because I have a beautiful family. So, and I was all alone when I got this news. So, like, yeah, it was all the more shocking. But I pulled all my inner strength to think and just decide that yes, I have to fight it out. And then came the things like the medical things, like to decide about the treatments and all. So the first thing which we did as a family was to lock our emotions. It wasn't decided as such, it went unsaid. Like, we want to get out of it very rationally. We can address the emotions later. Right now it's time to just focus on the treatment. And it worked for me. It may not work for everyone, but it worked for me. So emotions took the back seat and treatment started. So this is how the thing initially started. Yeah.
when were you diagnosed, and at what age?
I was 42. This was in 2015.
So, what stage were you diagnosed with?
It was stage 2A.
So, how many cycles of chemotherapy or how many cycles of radiotherapy were, what were the surgeries that, how many cycles did you have in a one time go?
I had 6 cycles of chemotherapy, and my surgery was like a complete mastectomy plus reconstruction. So my breast was reconstructed from the fat taken from my own body. So radiation therapy was not possible. It is not possible to give radiotherapy on a reconstructed breast. Yeah.
So,
This
tell
is
me,
this was very rare at that point in time to get. Yeah.
tell me your treatment process. What all process happened, and how long did it take?
It went on for 7 months. This was surgery plus chemotherapy, and my surgery was quite a complicated thing at that point in time because reconstruction was not that very popular at that time. It took 9 hours to get the removal as well as the reconstruction done. So you can say it was surgical strikes at two sites at one point in time. And it took 7 months, yeah. And during those days, what I did was like I tried to pursue my hobbies, which was long forgotten. I tried to tick my bucket list, like which were the things which I could do sitting at home, which I couldn't do earlier because of the lack of time or, as such, we can't do plenty of things otherwise. But during such days, you have time to think and do things, if you take it that way. So I pursued my hobbies, like I wanted to learn singing. So I did that. I followed cricket. I did so many things which I wanted to do. Yeah.
So, what are the healing process apart from your usual signs that you took, and what are they?
Healing signs, you're saying?
Yes.
I didn't get your question.
So, what is the healing process apart from the usual signs you took, and what are they?
Okay. So one of them was music therapy. I think music is a type of meditation, and it heals you, it soothes you, it actually takes you away from the pain. So that was one thing. Even today, when I am not very happy or not in the best of mood, I just try to sing 2-3 songs and I'm out of it. So this is one of the healing thing which I firmly believe in. So that was one thing. The other thing was yoga, which I follow till today. So during those days, it is not possible to do everything, but you can do some breathing exercises. And the third and most important thing is love and warmth of the family. It heals you, yeah.
So, what are the major problems that you had to deal during the treatment?
Yeah, so after the surgery, I had this tram flap surgery. That is, they take the fat out of abdominal muscles, and those stitches were not getting healed, and I had to deal with it very painfully, I should say. So that was a painful time. And then during the chemotherapy, 4 cycles went off very well. The 5th one was very painful. I got ulcers in my stomach, and I was to admitted in the emergency ward. All of a sudden, I got some cramps in the stomach, and I was so unwell. But I came out of it the very next day, and sun actually shined very perfectly the next day. I was so happy to come back home. Yeah, these were the 2 challenges which were really difficult. And the second one was like I felt like I was not going to survive. But I had to draw my inner strength and say that yes, I have to survive.
So, were there any programs or services provided to you that would help the treatment process?
Which kind of services?
Like any kind of a programs that they were offered and that you would take that as a treatment process?
No, I did not have any that kind of a program at that point in time. No.
Okay. So, did you face any obstacles during your treatment process? If so, how did you overcome such kind of an obstacle?
Obstacles were such, like as I told you, there are so many side effects of chemotherapy and all those things. But there are ways and means to handle all these obstacles. Like after the chemotherapy, for 3 to 4 days are very uneasy and very difficult to handle. So during those times, I used to take extra precautions. And there are people in our society who would like to come and see you during the illness. So I used to prefer some good friends to come over during those times. So we can just chit chat and the time could be, gone past nicely. So these were the small tactics I used to clear that bad time.
Okay. So, how did you manage and maintain the same joy to make your kids comfortable and happy?
Yeah, so after I was done with the treatment, I had promised myself that I'll be healthier than ever before. So I tried to maintain my diet. Earlier, I was very health conscious, but then I took more care to be healthier, like nutrition wise, workout wise, uh, not taking stress over small things. These were the things which I handled, and I think I'm a better person now.
So, how did you overcome your fear from all those treatments?
Fear, yeah. And there are two types of fear in cancer or any life-threatening disease. One is physical, that you have to go through physical pain. That you can handle. I guess what helped me was I always used to think that this is a phase. This is a phase. If you look at your life as a book, then this journey is not more than a paragraph. So just hold on, chill. It's just for a while. If you are getting injected and you know that it's going to be painful, I just kept on saying myself that it's a matter of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So this helped me getting out of my physical pain. But mental pain, yeah, mentally you need to gather the inner strength and have that faith in yourself and look around what good you have in your life. This helps.
So, what was your first reaction when you saw your reports and they were showing that you have cancer? What was your first
So
reaction and how were you feeling that? And along with whom have you occupied with?
actually, I didn't see the report. I got to know it's a story. Like I was getting the USG done, sonography, and I could see the sonologist measuring something on the screen. So I immediately thought that there is something in my breast that she is measuring. Otherwise, you cannot measure a normal tissue, right? You would not measure a normal tissue. So I asked her that, what is it? And she did not have a heart to tell me that it's cancer. So she said that you just call a family member and I'll tell them. I said, there's no one at my house right now. She said, call your neighbor, relative, anyone. So I got it that there is something serious in my body. So I asked her that, is it cancer? And she was taken aback. She said, she did not have a heart to say yes. So she said, you need to see a cancer surgeon. So I just closed my eyes, and after a minute I said, is there one in your hospital? I would like to see that person right now. So this was my first reaction.
So, how has your life changed as a result of a cancer experience?
Yeah, my life has changed completely, I would say. Earlier I was so, I wouldn't say self-centered, but my life was revolving around my family. Now all the cancer patients and their caregivers are my family. Like my life is come, as I told you, my life is dedicated to cancer, cancer patients. So like till even today during the quarantine time also, like half of my days a day goes in counseling patients, organizing webinars and all those things. So I've become very compassionate, fearless, and I empathize with each and every person. That is what I feel.
So, what would be your message who are fighting such kind of a cancer?
See, what I feel is people use this word cancer survivor. You have
Mhm.
to survive cancer. But I would say you should not just survive cancer. You live through it. Those 7 months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever your journey is, you try to live those moments. You should not just feel that I'm a patient and don't sit in the corner. Do whatever makes you happy during those days also. And this shall definitely pass.
I have also seen that you have been inspired by Yuvraj Singh. Even Yuvraj Singh was a cancer survivor patient as well, so he had survived. And also, what made you choose him as a role model? Because there are Manisha Koirola as well, there is Sonali Bendre, but why Yuvraj Singh at that present, or what made you to choose him as a role model?
Because actually what happened, I am a cricket buff. So, and during those times the World Cup was going on, and once during my low moment I saw him hitting a six. Till that time I didn't have any role model, but when I saw him hitting a six, I thought, salute man, if he can hit a six, I can definitely make it to live, you know. So that was the point. I thought that, yeah, he actually inspired me.
You've also looked after around 4,000 patients and caregivers. So, what do you feel that how can they improve, and what is the main satisfaction that you get from them, and what is the main thing that how many ever people have survived? So, what do you say for survivors, and how many people have been survived in your place and in your NGO, whatever you have started it, ma'am? So, what do you think that how fear and compassionate they are to bring out their own fear facts to you, and how do you solve that particular thing to them?
See, why I started this was when I used to visit hospitals during my treatment. I used to see so many patients who were not privileged like me in terms of finance, in terms of inner strength, in terms of the love from the family, care from the relatives. So I thought, let me do my bit to help these people, not help, actually emotionally empower these people. So I started counseling them on one-on-one level. Then one fine day, these caregivers, the family members who are equally strong. Yeah, something went wrong with you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Am I audible
I
now?
can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So yeah, now I can. Now I can.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then the family members, no one used to answer their questions, and they were very stressed. So I started sessions in the hospitals to counsel the caregivers, group counseling sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and that helped them a lot. That helped the caregivers as well as the patients to come out of it. Then I started organizing events to uh, on how to bounce back from cancer. After you are done with the cancer, how to bounce back to a normal life. So there are plenty of other modules which we do, and through webinars, right now through webinars and online sessions, but otherwise we used to do in like
Correct.
physical ones. Yeah. Yeah.
So people think that cancer is one of the deadliest disease, which is which is coming up in the rise in the recent years, where people think that they don't get the awareness, and people don't think that they can survive such kind of cancer as well, or maybe it was not reached by many households. So what do you suggest those kind of people, and how do you give some awareness that maybe they can, how do you give that positivity to them, that saying that yes, they need strength, they need courage, they need hopes that they can survive, because people think that they don't get survival chances as well, because when you think around cancer, they don't get any survival chances, and they have that inner motivation that no, they feel all they have that negativity. But seeing your story, it's really a mesmerizing story and very inspirational story, which can be taken forward, and
Thank
where
you.
people can also understand such kind of message given by you, because even they can also be inspired more on your hardship and your struggles. So what do you give such people a message to them, that what kind of things they need to go on? So on that particular message, if you can give that, it will be very helpful for our viewers who watch this video, and they could be a role model which they can be inspired by you.
See, there are three, four things because of which people think cancer is equal to death.
Mm-hmm.
C is not equal to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we see that in the movies, in the storybooks, they show that the end of a cancer patient is death.
Mm-hmm.
This is what gives one kind of a message to the society, that cancer is equal to death, but it is not so. People like us should come forward and say that, see, we have survived, so can you. Life is always greater than cancer. One need to understand that life is greater than cancer.
So, ma'am, one more thing I just wanted to ask you, that there have been many survival chances and survival rates have been diagnosed, but it's a very less time that people are looking
Yeah.
forward into, such kind of struggles where, they need some strength on in them, and they need that purity in them, and they need that assurity saying that yes, or maybe their partner would never be assurant, or would never tell anything to them such they have cancer, or they have any such kind of a cancer. It could be a blood cancer, or it could be a lung cancer, or it could be any such cancer. So what are the measures and what are the hardships that they need to surrender, or maybe that would be their strength to overcome and serve other people? And what do you have such kind of a message to people who can be more inspired?
See, whosoever have survived, they should actually come out and say that we have survived. Look at us. And that will change the view of the society, that cancer is not curable. There are certain cancers which are not curable, but these days, see, earlier it was like 8 out of 10 would not survive. These days, 8 survive out of 10, So it's just the reverse scenario. But the message has not gone to the society properly. So I would request all who have survived that come out and say with immense pride that we have survived cancer. I have seen so many people who have survived cancer, but they don't want to come out and tell the people. They want to hide this. Actually, they are not doing good to the society. If you say that I have survived cancer, that will give a strength to the people who are fighting, right? So, and the society may change. There is a myth which we need to change.
Ma'am, I'm really happy that you're being, serving the people and serving women as well, or women and men. So I feel that you're having such kind of initiative, that yes, you have done this, you have fought your battle. So I want others also to fight the same way what I have fought in my life. So I don't want the pain of what others have gone through. So I want them to be in a positive manner, and I want them to fight their battle against, what have affected by cancer. So you've been counseling people as well, and you're giving, you're taking your your caregivers as well. So I'm very happy to understand about your inspiration to others, and I feel that maybe this could be the end line to finish this all positivity and to remove the negativity from us. And maybe once people are willing to interested to take such kind of inspiration from you, or maybe who can give you a call and give some inspirational talks to them, where they don't get demoralized or demotivated. Maybe you would be one such person who can inspire others, or it could be others, maybe it could be thousands of people who can be inspired by you. So I wish you all the success in the coming days, and I wish you a very good health. And thank you so much for talking to us. It's been pleasure to having you on
Thank
our
you.
show. I'm very happy to welcome you on this show, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to
Thank you so much.
for this
Thank
journey,
you.
for having you as speaking up your wonderful journey to us. I'm very happy to that, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.